Right, first of all, apologies for the state of this garage, or workshop as I'm now treating it, and for the quality of my filming. This is the first and probably last YouTube video that I'll ever make with me speaking in it. I've been having an issue with my 1979 Series 3 Land Rover ever since I bought it in August last year. It barely made it back from England to Northern Ireland, where I'm currently living. Absolutely no power, couldn't go up the hills at anything more than 10 miles an hour. Constant misfires and rattles and knocking noises and everything. I'm amazed it actually managed to make it back. But it did, and I spent 3 months with the car parked up outside my house trying to figure out what was wrong. Just about everything that I found was broken or incorrectly installed or had been put in with copious amounts of red silicon sealant and no gasket. I mean, the first issue I find, which has now been fixed, was manifold gasket was broken in several places. I think I have got a video on YouTube for the purposes of the Land Rover forum. The first issue, many seized bolts in the manifolds meant 2 new manifolds. I think they're down there actually. So I need to take them off to find this problem. And also down there you can see the Weber 34 ICH, which needed a full rebuild. New float, new adjustments. That took several months to sort out. I managed to find out that the timing, which was not easy to set up as there were no marks on the pulley, found top dead centre of cylinder number 1, and found that the timing was set to 30 degrees after top dead centre. I suspected that there was a problem with the timing as there was a broken distributor in the back of the car when I bought it, and several parts of the ignition. I think there was a new, probably relatively old electronic ignition kit installed. It seemed to be working just fine. The coil looked original, so that was replaced. The leads have been replaced, the spark plugs have been replaced. The rotor arm was a rotor arm from a 25D, when there was possibly a Chinese copy of a 45D Lucas distributor fitted. Replaced that, replaced the cap, and that solved the intermittent misfire that I had. What it didn't solve was the knocking noise, which I've had several videos of. Initially thought to be a bad main or big end bearing. And I had the sump off earlier this week. It took 3 days. An awful lot of swearing, a lot of oil everywhere. Turned out that the sump was fine. The baffles inside were fine, despite the fact that I thought it was catching, as it looked like. And all the bearings were fine. The crankshaft didn't move an inch, and neither did any of the big end bearings. So that problem was eliminated. Put it all back together, put some oil in it, and the knocking noise is still there. The knocking noise, by the way, doesn't occur when cold, only occurs when the engine has warmed up. It seems only to occur idle and goes away at about 700 RPM. It's a sort of clunking noise at the back of the engine. I thought originally it was coming from the sump, but it sort of seems to be coming from the block somewhere. So anyway, took some advice from the Land Rover forums and ended up pulling the cylinder head off, something I've never done. I've never really rebuilt an engine before, so this is the first time for everything, and this actually came off quite easily. It took a couple of hours. You can see the rocker shaft over here taken off using the rocker cover, which worked surprisingly well. The rocker shaft looks all good, to be honest. It all seemed to be working very well. Did a previous video, and I thought this might be an issue about a week ago, of this valve spinning, as in every time it came up it would spin around on its seat. Now I didn't exactly know whether that was normal or not. I sort of assumed it wasn't, and was told in the forums that it wasn't normal, and I needed to pull ahead and find out what was going on. As you can see, all of the springs spin to some extent some more than others. They are all double springs. There's a spring inside another spring, which I believe means that they are probably the original springs. Now, this engine is a 3-bearing. I know it's not the original engine, and it probably means these springs are original, so they may be one. This spring in particular, the intake of cylinder 4, is the worst. I can spin that around very, very freely. Now, you can push these down by hand. That one's not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. Same with all of these. They're not too bad, not too much of a noise, apart from when you come to cylinder 4, which makes a knocking noise. And it seems I've found the source of my clunking knock at the back of the engine. It seems to be this one. If you turn the cylinder head over, you'll see, I may try and put a picture up of this because turning it over one-handed is not going to be easy, but the intake valves on cylinders 1, 2 and 3 are all a biscuit colour, which has been reliably informed means that they're all fine and they run a little bit hotter, and that's normal. The those are exhaust valves, are biscuit coloured. The exhaust valve on this cylinder is black, which apparently indicates a misfire or constant low compression, which would make sense. So I think what the issue is this valve in particular, which is the worst one. When it gets hot, the valve stem expands, and the valve no longer seats correctly and stays open, which causes many problems, like a rough idle knocking noise of the valve. And poor performance in the high end. You get anything over about 2,500, 3,000 RPM on the carriageway, and it stutters and fails. So, solution, I think, not being an expert, is to reseat the valves, lap them with a bit of grinding paste and a lapping tool, and new valve springs. But I will keep you updated. Thank you very much for watching.